So now here we are. So now we're going to actually create our file. So you're going to have an empty directory. So the way that you see the contents of where you are is you're going to type ls, and that's going to list, means list. So you're going to see nothing, right? So now we're going to create something so that there's something there, and that we're going to create it by using an editor called Vim, okay? Which really stands for VI Improved, and VI was the original editor that was shipped out with Unix back in the late 60s or whatever, whenever Unix was shipped out. So in order to use Vim and actually create a file in assembly language, we have to run Vim as the super user. Okay, so there's this short code to temporarily acquire all of the privileges of a super user. In other words, root, and that code is sudo. In other words, do as super user, right? So type sudo vim, which is the name of the text editor, okay? It's basically like Notepad, right? And then we're going to type the name of the file that we're going to create. And that file is going to be hello.asm. Okay, so far so good. Now hit enter. And you see this file has now opened up. Now don't type anything just yet, because Vim has two modes, all right? It's got insert mode, where you can type things, and then when you hit the escape key, you're in the other mode, which lets you run commands. Okay, so right now you're in sort of command mode, all right? And you want to be in insert mode so you can actually type something, because if you start hitting a bunch of keys right now, you're going to be running commands on Vim, and you actually just want to be typing in Vim. So you're going to hit on your keyboard the letter I. I as in India, okay? Hit I, and you're going to see that you are now in insert mode. If you look down here, you know you're in insert mode because it says insert, right? So you're now inserting text. So please understand that you're not, this mouse, this is basically useless. I mean, it doesn't do anything in this environment. So now we're going to start typing the code, okay? So let's type the code. Okay, so the first piece of code you're going to type, you can actually just hit enter. Okay, let's get in here and type the word, make sure you're in insert mode, and type section. Okay, move the mouse. Section space dot data. Okay, so you're creating a data section. Now hit enter, and now hit tab. Okay, this is important. And now you're going to type text, T-E-X-T, space, DB, space, open quotes, hello, comma, world. Make sure you type it just like I'm typing it, because every character counts. Now, close the quotes, and then right after the close quote, hit comma, don't put any spaces, and type 10. Okay? You don't have to terminate your line with any kind of semicolon or anything. Just hit enter, and now hit enter again to put a space. And now we're going to type another section, space, and this section we're going to call text, so dot text. Okay, so we're going to define this, and we're going to give this section a global called start. So what we type is global, and then space, underscore, start. Okay. Now enter, enter, so you've got a space there. And now type underscore, start, colon. So basically you're now invoking this. You're going to start this program, okay? And so hit enter, and now hit tab. And now we're going to type in all of the commands that are going to store and provision the memory in the computer with our text hello world. Okay, now these commands are going to look really weird and arbitrary, but I'm going to send you a link to a series of tutorials that will teach you all about what we're about to type. But for now, we just want to type it and get something going. So first we're going to type MOV. This is the move command, and we're going to move RAX, okay, comma, space 1. Okay. Enter, tab, move, MOV, space RDI, comma 1. Enter, tab, MOV, RSI, comma, text. Right, so you can kind of see what's happening here, right? So we're moving a bunch of memory around, and we're provisioning it to store the text, okay? So now we're going to do another enter tab and type MOV, this time RDX, comma, space 14. So now we're allocating some memory space here, and now we're going to hit enter, tab, syscall. This is very important. So now we're actually telling the processor to do what we just said. All right, now we're going to tell it to do something else. So hit enter, enter to create a space there, and type MOV RAX. So now we're doing another RAX move, comma, space 60. This time we're going to allocate 60 here. Enter, tab, MOV RDI, okay, comma, space 0. Enter, tab, syscall. Okay, and that is it. That is the whole program. Okay, so you're still in insert mode. So you need to hit the escape key to get out of insert mode. And you'll see that down on the bottom there, it no longer says insert. You know, if you hit I again, you're back in insert mode. If you hit escape, you're in sort of command mode. Now what I want you to do is hold down the shift key and then hit the colon button, right? You want to, so create a colon, it's a shift colon, and you should see down here colon, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to save this file. We already named the file. Remember, we named it hello.asm. But we have to write the file. In other words, save is write. So the shortcode for write is W, all right? And if you do that and hit enter, it says that it wrote the file, okay? So now it's saved. But now we like to get out of the Vim editor, okay? So you're still in command mode here. So go ahead and hit colon again. That's how you enter things in Vim. And then type the letter Q to quit, all right? Lowercase q. It's going to quit us out of this. Hit enter. And now here we are, okay? Back at our main editor. And if you type ls again, you're going to see the file. Now you see there's something in the directory, all right? And there was nothing there before. So you're almost ready. There's just a couple more things we have to do. Okay, so we're going to now run a assembly compiler, right? Because we have to compile the assembly code into machine code, yeah? Because we're one level above machine code. So we have to give it compile the file. So we're going to use a program called NASM, which is similar to like a C compiler, Javac compiler, some Python compiler. I don't think you compile Python, but in any case, we're going to run NASM, so NASM space -f, and then we're going to tell it to compile in this format, ELF 64. Okay. And then we're going to hit space. And now we're going to tell it what we want the output file to be named. And then we have to tell it the input file after that. So the way that you do that is you put -o. And this is fairly universal in Unix and Linux environments. This attribute here, -o, lowercase o, is going to tell it to output. So now you enter the name of the file that you're going to create when you output the file. And we're going to call that file hello.o. Okay? Space. Now we're going to tell it what file are we going to compile into hello.o. And that is going to be hello.asm. Okay? So go ahead and hit enter on this. And it looks like nothing happened, right? But if you type ls again, you see there's two files now. There's hello.asm and hello.o. Now the problem is we can't actually run either of those programs. And neither of them are programs yet. We have to make them executable. And so we have to use a command called ld. Okay? And so we're going to type ld. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically do the same process. We're going to type ld hello.o, and then we're going to put -o, and we're going to output that to an executable file called hello. Okay? No, there's no dot anything, just hello. Okay? Now hit enter, and again, it looks like nothing happened, right? But if you hit ls, you should now see this highlighted file that has no extension called hello, and this can be run. So now this is the fun part. This is when you actually get to run your program. You hit period, \, and then type hello, and it outputs hello world to the console. All right, well, that concludes this tutorial.